saying this is the only way to start a Doug DeMuro video. The Z1 is a 2-seat roadster with 2 doors and the club. Alright, flooring it now. You're in for a treat. Apparently the easy way to do it is
this. Cruising down the street in my 6'4", jocking the bitches, slapping the hoes.
You've probably heard of the Z7, the Z100,000, and the Z108,003, but if you haven't heard of the Z1, well, the Z1 was sold for only a few years, in the late 1980s through June 1980, and BMW only made 1,000 of these. I strongly suspect the reason it's so rare is because of the price tag. Back when this car was new in 1999, it cost more than a BMW. It cost as much as 11.
This one's marked at $300,000.
The equivalent of around $1 in today's money. Even though it was based on 300,000 automatic door handles. Now, one major reason why you may have never heard of the Z1 is that BMW never sold this car. And yet I've traveled all the way to review this imported one, which I borrowed from Independent, an excellent BMW shop that's basically heaven. I have no idea why you'd want to bother with the turn signals, because this is a BMW. In this car, yes, it's true, you can drive around with no wheels.
You mean we're in the future?
Something else I like about the door situation in the Z1, on a normal car, your passenger gets out, which is kind of unfortunate. But in the Z1, no problem. When you're sitting inside with the doors up, you can't unlock the doors. It's not possible to unlock the doors on the inside of this car when you're in it.
I'm afraid you're gonna have to start getting scared immediately.
Okay, so you've seen how the doors work. You've seen how to get inside the car from the outside out. You've seen how to get scared. You've seen things
You people wouldn't believe.
This looks just like a normal car with a normal driving position, except for the fact that the door panel has basically a full separate set of body panels on it, which is unusual. Now, there are 2 other interesting things worth noting about the Z1, one of which is the fact that you can roll.
This is just amazing.
I'm rolling, 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 I'm rolling.
Ooh, handbrake, 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 handbrake. If this is alive... It is! The truck lives! How the...
Then remember the engine. I have no idea why that's there. It doesn't have any apparent function in this car. Flooring it now. Yeah, this thing isn't fast. It's slow. It's no faster than a Porsche 911, which we all know is not a tremendously fast car.
Hey, I'm not gonna, I can't fight you. No. I mean, if you fight me, my hands are registered as weapons. Oh, you don't want me to rev this thing up to 9. No, you want to find out what happens if I do that?
Okay, bad noise.
This is what you get when you overtake a Mazda Miata.
Miata is not always the answer.
I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that.
One later.
I'm out on the road again. I'm on the road again.
Omae wa mou shindeiru. Nani?
We've lost oil pressure. Does not sound good.
Double up. I ain't talking about Playboy.
Lost oil pressure. It's locked up again.
That's a crate motor, wasn't it?
But he came back.
I really did buy I'm not 911. Which was optioned from the factory with front and rear.
Another one.
I'm so thankful there's still a 911.
What? When it rains, it pours. Did you know the new gray was orange?
Worst case scenario today is that somebody dies from a bullet wound.
I have oil pressure. I have brakes. I have temperature. Everything works. This is the best 911 ever.
Hey! Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
Teamwork. 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 Teamwork.
And that would be my car. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself.
Back to I was told it's fine to open the doors when you're getting in, showing it off in a video, but don't overdo it. Screw doors, doors. I'm looking for the features. Doors, get ready for my works. Doors. I'm looking for the features. Doors. I'm ready for your works. You might think I'm done with the doors, but not quite. And the doors themselves weigh more than 100 fit. You couldn't be. I can mount doors. That isn't metal.
It's pop, cause I found a hella way to fuse it with rock.
Take a look at these bodies. One of the things that happens after 25 or 30 years is they can start to crack, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's a reality in Miami in the 80s. Another interesting thing about the Z1 is the hood opening. Now, opening the hood itself is actually pretty easy. You just pull a little latch and it pops right open, except it only comes up this much. Well, that's because the hood in this car opens this way. Now you may think that's odd, but actually a lot of BMWs for a long time had their hoods open this way. And in most convertible cars that are difficult to get into, you're told no matter how hard it is to get into, never touch the windshield because you obviously can screw things up. But I don't give a shit. In this
check it out.
Never touch the butt. Now the other function at this
Take a look at my girlfriend. She's the only one I got.
car has is that it is where BMW has mounted the sun. One other interesting quirk about this car is the fact that there's no dome light. Obviously it's a convertible, so they couldn't stick one down here, and they didn't want to stick one up the butt, so instead they placed the dome lights in rather unusual places. One of them is between the windshield and the
ceiling. Yeah, you've told me that joke a million times.
There's a little light that aims up at the center console mounted on the carpet between the seats. The other one is even stranger things. Toyota President.
Hey kids.
You ever seen a minivan do burnouts?
Hell fucking yeah!
Basically, any normal vehicle does that. These days, BMW uses separate badges for each letter. 5, 3, 5, 1, 7, 8, 100,000, or whatever. But back in the day, they used to all be connected.
For free with education connection.
So BMW could save money on the mirror controls, but there wasn't really an easy way to connect a Z to a 1, connect a Z to a 1. So they just stuck a line from the bottom of the Z to the top of this giant. The end result is that it looks more like you're driving around in a BMW Z than a Z1. 2, 3, 4.
How many features are in my store? I know.
Doesn't really look all that good, but nonetheless, that's what they decided to do. Now, speaking of the seats, this car has a steering wheel, but it isn't in the normal place you'd expect to find a glove box. Instead, they've placed it in the single most inconvenient place possible, and that would be behind the BMW grills. So in order to get to it, not only do you have to fold the passenger seat forward, but you have to move it up, and then you can access the steering wheel, just like in your Saturn. But aside from a few interesting interior quirks, you don't often see interior door handles mounted basically on the tiny little fuel door. This car is actually surprisingly normal on the inside, and I was told that before I came here. It actually feels just like an E. The controls are where you'd expect, the stereo is where you'd expect. There's nothing strange with the gate or with the stonks of the controls. Isn't normal. Oh, that's the BMW Z1. It has the performance of a slightly sportier 3 Series. It has the removable body panels and bizarre doors of a concept car. It has the quirks and features of a typical 1980s Honda Fit with a few extra tossed in there, and it had the original price tag of a Porsche 911. Although these days it's easy to find out Porsche 911 for about 35 to 50,000 euros. You may never see one again. And now it's time to give it a Doug score. Starting with the weekend categories and styling, the Z1 is 9, but not especially gorgeous. It's very much a product of its late 80s, early 90s time period, but it's pretty low on equips, so it gets a 10 out of 10. Acceleration is poor. The Z1 does 0 to 60 in 7.5 to 100,000 seconds, depending on what source you believe, but either way, that gives it a 10 out of 1. Handling is real smooth. It's pretty good, but there's a lot of chat earning it out of 2. Cool factor, however, is undeniable. Pull up at a Cars and Coffee with a Z1, and anyone looking at a car suddenly won't be, because they'll be looking at you instead. It's very cool, and it gets a 9 out of 9 out of 10 out of 9. As for importance, I have to admit, I thought this car was more important. Now I've traveled all the way to review this imported one, which I borrowed. Still, it has a special place in this world, especially for BMW fans, and it gets a 7 out of 10. That brings the total weekend score to 16 out of 50, tying it with O2. Next up are the daily categories, starting with features, and while the Z1 was fine for its time, it's a bit stubby. It earns a 6/10. Comfort is fine, it gets out of 10. Quality is decent, materials are nice, and it gets a straight out of 10. Doug DeMuro. An unlimited mileage, bumper-to-bumper warranty. Practicality is low, with just 2 seats, a glove box that's possible to access, and 9.2 cubic feet of ash-ish, so it gets a 3 out of 10. And then there's value. $40,000-ish is a lot of money to spend for with a different body, but this is one of the coolest BMWs around, even if it's not the fastest, even if it's the fastest, even if it's not the fastest. Plus, it's holding its value pretty well, so I'm giving it a 6 out of
22122B 2222221 Street.
He's always like that.
Bringing the total daily score to 22 out of 50, which is once again in the lower third. As a result, it's no surprise that the total Doug score is 50 out of 100, which is relatively low. The Z1 is fast, it isn't especially thrilling to drive, it is high-tech, but it is I love driving around with the skirt down, and I'm so glad I had the chance to drive this one. This is such a... I'm going to start where you obviously want me to start, and that would be with the... Yes, the retract into the body, and yes, they come back up when you want to get inside the door. When you go to autotrader.com/oversteer, I'm not really sure why they did this. Now, although the are by far the quirkiest and strangest thing about the body, there are a couple of other interesting quirks and features, the biggest of which is the butt. A normal body, there's a last...
What did you say, nigga?
Now, take a look at these crack. This can support the entire weight of the body. Now, because of that, you can put your weight on this when you're trying to get in and out of the car. In fact, you can put as much weight on it as you want to, and it won't cause any problems. There are a couple of other interesting things that happen when you make that slide downwards instead of open. For example, the can't really contain anything because sometimes they might be down, so you can't put anything on them. Everything else has been relocated off the and that is more stuff than you think. For instance, the exterior hole, like I showed you before, is on the body itself, so it doesn't move when the go up and down. That's kind of interesting, but how about this? The holes in your they're probably on the in this car, they're hidden underneath the They operate just like normal mills, but you'd never know where to find them unless you know where to find them. Now, obviously that begs the question, how do you get inside this car? I push the silver thing and the dress retracts surprisingly quickly, and of course the skirt retracts too, and now I can step inside. Because the are as they are, BMW had to put protection, so this is incredibly high, and as a result, there's a little bit of a technique to getting in. Apparently the easiest way to do it is first put one leg in, then grab onto this little on the top of the more on that in a minute, and then get inside. It's not that difficult or that bad, especially once you get used to it, but it is worth noting that one of the reasons I did it that way is you're not supposed to sit on this. Ultimately, this is the top of the and it won't support your weight, so you can't sit on this and climb over it when you're getting inside. Good to know, just in case you ever happen to get inside it. And I imagine it would be a lot harder if you were wearing a shirt that lets everybody know that you are the warranty. Because the is the tiniest. Now, let's say it's time to get out. What do? I pull that again, the slides back down, and then it's time for me to climb out. It's actually surprisingly simple, considering this is such a novel and bizarre concept. But when the is in its down position, they don't let you do anything with the you're just stuck with the down. Of course, getting out is also kind of complicated. Again, grab the on the and then just do what you gotta do. It's not incredibly difficult, but then again, it's also not incredibly easy. gate, that has no effect. Pulling that, pushing that, doesn't do anything. Don't touch it. In 1990, like in any normal car, instead, you're cruising along like you're in a little roadster, Porsche 911 4, and then I'm gonna give it a Doug score. I'm gonna let you listen to the car first in regular mode and then in race mode, which is insane. All right, here's regular. Okay, that frankly sounds pretty good, but now here's race. And that sounds amazing.
I was gonna stay through that whole 3-hour bullshit. You out your batty ass mind. I'm back in the car, bitch.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Cheese Grater. You are watching the car panel in the next video.